Hey guys, we've got some things to talk about. I know I just uploaded my analysis of the breakup, but shit is going down quicker than I expected and we gotta cover some things. We've got a big change, new info, and let me just tell you, it's messy. As always, the videos are linked down below and I suggest you watch them if you haven't because I'm only covering what I find most pertinent. So Kyra uploaded a video called Coming Back on her separate channel, K-Baby, which has been completely neglected for 10 months until now. They also uploaded a video on the OK Baby channel called Change of Plans Life Update, so we'll be covering both of those and a little bit of an Instagram rant she had. Kyra starts this video by answering some Q&A questions she did on her Instagram, and the first one is about if Kyra is dating.
Okay, first question. This is the most commonly asked question, which I think is kind of crazy, but also I get it. I would ask the same thing to somebody else if they were going through this, and that is if I'm dating.
Why is Kyra shocked that this is the most asked question? This question is being asked because it's a roundabout way to try to get more info or validate the cheating allegations. You know, the situation of Kyra comforting and rubbing up on another guy, crossing boundaries and hurting Oscar's feelings in the process, but she swears she wasn't cheating. And surprise, surprise, Kyra says,
The answer is heck no. I am absolutely terrified to date again one day. I think it's like, oh, I don't know. Everything about that makes my heart... I'm not much of a dater. I don't know. I don't really... That's not... I don't know. I just, like, don't... That's scary. No, thank you. No, thank you. Also, the way that people do it nowadays, like, I am not about to hop on an app and be like, want to hang out when you know they just want to fuck.
She's trying to act like she's so shy and timid and scared about dating when we all know that's really why she wanted to split from Oscar in the first place, so I'm not sure who she thinks she's fooling here. I'm no kinesiologist, but personally I can tell she's lying because her eyes are darting around, she starts moving her hands a lot, touching her hair, and using a lot of ums and ers. Now, I don't think she's already got a partner lined up and waiting, but I think she's actually way more excited for the opportunity to date other people than she's saying, especially given the fact that Kyra wanting to feel desirable has been a consistent theme for her in recent times. Then she talks about the possibility of her and Oscar reconciling, and she says this.
Is there a chance you and Oscar will ever get back together? Honestly, if I truly believed that was a possibility, the internet would have never known that we split up, and we would be working towards bettering our relationship and not breaking it off.
This is a really big point of contention that a lot of people have with the breakup, and this basically confirms that she didn't even care enough to try to make it work. And seriously, if I had 4 kids and if I centered my entire career and lifestyle on my family, I would have definitely at least tried counseling, therapy, literally just exhausting every resource I could to make it work. And I think that if Oscar and Kyra had done all of those things, which they have the resources to do, and gave it a good honest try, that people wouldn't have such a bad taste in their mouths about this. Kyra just made it abundantly clear that she has so little regard for her children and their father that she was not willing to put in the effort it would have taken to go to couples counseling or even just individual counseling for this. And my personal opinion is that even in the case that she still couldn't work it out, that at least those resources would have set them up for a more stable co-parenting relationship, better communication, and a more united front for their children, because let me tell you, it's getting bad, and it's gonna get a whole lot worse before it gets better. And referencing that, here's another example of it.
What do you miss the most about being with Oscar? We did have great conversation and we really had great banter and we had a lot of fun together, and I do think that hopefully one day that can happen again as friends, but for right now during this transition period it's a little bit hard to know your boundaries and like develop boundaries and all that stuff, so that hanging out doesn't really happen as much. It still happens but just not as much, and I think that I'll always miss that.
Alright, so let's get into the Change of Plans Life Update video. This video is basically just 17 minutes of them not knowing what the hell they're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and play you a few clips and give you my opinions.
The point is, we have like ups and downs, and like we're just trying to navigate that the best we can, which is why plans are changing so often, because we're just like trying to consider all factors, the kids, the finances, us as friends, us as individuals, like long-term goals, short-term goals, Levi's school, the babysitter, like every aspect, and trying to make that all work the best way in one situation is very difficult to figure out.
Oh, also, we were going to live together, and we were going to, like, just switch. We were just going to be, well, I was going to stay downstairs, she was going to stay upstairs, and we were just going to kind of, like, not involve, well, that's a lie. We were going to involve ourselves in with the kids.
We were trying to stay separate but together.
Yeah, exactly. So we were gonna like have days where it's my responsibility to take care of the kids, and if Kyra wants to help out, that's fine. And if I want to help out on her days, that's fine too.
But if not, that's fine.
Exactly. So we were just gonna live together and kind of just like just not be in a relationship anymore. But that ended up not working out. I think for the relationship or whatever, Kyra thinks it's best for her to move out, which I can't disagree. I mean, it was a little shocking at first because I was like, so what does that mean? Are we keeping the house? Like, you're entirely moving out? And I did get frustrated because I was like, dude, what the heck? Now you're changing up the whole situation again, at least on mine. But in the long run, I do think it's the right decision. It was just a hard pill to swallow at first.
We're obviously at a disagreement of choices in our life right now, and there, you know, when you're in a relationship, usually you can kind of like meet in the middle and like all those things, and like right now that's a little bit hard to do. It's more just like, well, no, I don't agree with you, and we are choosing to just, what do they say, like agree to disagree, basically. Like, we don't know fully, but I just feel like at this point we're a little too inconsistent with our getting along and our friendship, and I don't want that to have a negative effect on the kids. Yeah. So I would like to move out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So then she's moving out. We're still not sure, but the plan is to sell. Well, that's hard because, like I said, I don't know what the plan is. But your plan is to get your equity out of the house. Whether I decide to move out or not is up to me. But that's in the future, like a year down the road, because we'd have to figure out so many things, like sell the cars, sell some of our toys, and like move out. Like I said, that ended up not happening. So now we're doing weeks. Like Kyra does this week, I'm gonna do next week, and go on from there.
There's a lot more I didn't include here, but you can see even just from these that there is a massive amount of instability and unpredictability between these two right now. I said in my last video that when a real actual change happens, that there's going to be a big shift leaving the kids in the crossfire, and this is it.
I'll move out, and then I think that the kids, we're gonna kind of see what the kids want to do. Like, do they want me to come here and stay here on weeks that are my week, or do they just want to completely come stay at my apartment, because I'm not going to be buying a house yet. That would be like financially silly on my end.
Yes, let's not be responsible adults and agree on a plan beforehand and stick to it. Let's just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. I'm about to be a little bit more harsh than I typically am, but honestly, consulting your children on how they feel about your ever-changing plans and then implementing that this early on in the transition is not only going to stress them out as far as their whole life rearranging, it's going to put pressure on them to be active participants in this breakup, which is a dangerously thin line to walk. This is exactly how you make your children pawns in the battle between exes. And I know what you're thinking, checking with your children to see if they like the setup isn't putting them in the crossfire. No, it's not if everything stays totally and completely amicable. But given that the whole reason Kyra says she's moving out is because she and Oscar are too volatile to live in the same house, I have little hope that what the kids say won't be thrown in either Oscar or Kyra's face at some point. The next clip is from Kyra's Instagram Live she just did. Link to the full video is down below, but y'all know me. As a legal professional, this just grinds my gears, so I'm about to go on a little rant.
Do you guys have a lawyer? Only people who have not paid for a lawyer are the ones recommending a lawyer.
As always, when I talk about legal matters, I have to disclaim this is my own opinion based on my own state's civil procedure codes and statutes and professional experience in law. I am not a lawyer, I am not your or Kyra's lawyer, and no one should think that I am their legal representation or take my advice without consulting their own licensed attorney. Now, although I work in tort law, there's a surprising amount of overlap with family court. I'm very familiar with those proceedings through my education and my career, and let me say, although I really hope and pray that this breakup doesn't descend into years-long court battles, they are most likely going to both get lawyers at some point. And that's not a bad thing, it's the safe thing to do, because a lot of things can change very quickly. They have too many assets, a lot of equity in those assets, and too many moving parts for them to handle themselves. As far as the children go, they definitely need a third party like a guardian ad litem or GAL, who is a court-appointed attorney in charge of the children's well-being. GALs can be extremely useful tools for two separating parents even if they are amicable, as a GAL advocates for the children and can hold both Kyra and Oscar accountable during disagreements regarding the children, keeping track of their parenting cooperation, mental health, and stability of the home they are providing. So overall, having legal representation to protect themselves and their children's interest is just the smart, mature, and reasonable thing to do. The fact that Kyra is only focusing on how much a lawyer costs and dismissing it solely due to that is incredibly irresponsible, as paying up front for a lawyer now could save her and her children a lot of pain in the future and save her a lot of money. With all this being said, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. They both need people more experienced than them to help guide them in the right direction, as they are both far too impulsive and immature to minimize the damage done by this split. They need to seek a family counselor, attorneys, and start doing a lot more planning if they're going to successfully transition their family into this new stage. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I have to give a really big shout out. I'm probably being annoying at this point about it, but thank you to APOC and all of his subscribers that watched my video, commented, and subscribed. His channel will be linked down below if you're not already subscribed to him, and it means so much to have everyone's support, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed watching. Have a good one.